In the roughly 3 years since I've started this channel, I've been keeping a secret the whole time. I actually have a son. Well, he's a robot, but he's very cute, and best of all, he's starring in a movie that's about to hit theaters. This is Newt, and he plays the plucky little sidekick character in the upcoming movie, The Lightning Code, which I have some clips from at the end of this video. But before that, I want to show you how I actually built him because he was made entirely from scratch just for this movie. It all started back in 2022 when director Kaylee Bailey and the Evolve team reached out to me after seeing my work on Mythbusters. They were getting ready to make a movie and wanted to have a real robot for the character of Newt instead of just using CGI. After reading through the script with everyone, Kaylee then walked me through what they wanted to see for his character.
As far as the design, like he needed to be really cute. He needed to be really functional. He had to actually be a pretty big character in the story because he needed to, do the projectors, and he needed to help hack into things, and he needed to like roll around with Miles and stuff.
From there, Kaylee started sketching out some ideas of what she wanted the robot to look like. Once we were happy with the rough overall shape, it was time to bring in a concept artist to help flesh out every detail of Newt's appearance.
It was a detailed process of being like, well, we like this antenna, we like this neck, I like this projector, I like this front. And then he kind of just like drew them and landed on this one design. We were like, that's it, that's Newt.
After dozens of iterations, we finally had it. A new design we believed everyone would fall in love with. And I gotta be honest, it definitely worked. I mean, just look at his stupid little face. I just want to pinch his little cheeks. Of course, going from a single illustration to a fully fledged robot was no small task, and on top of that, I only had 5 weeks to make it happen. Now, one thing to keep in mind is this whole project was shot almost 3 years ago in my old workshop, so the build log you're about to see is one of my first ever. So the first thing I need to do in order to make this robot is actually create a digital model of him in my CAD program. That way I can make sure he looks exactly like the reference illustration they gave me. Plus, having a full digital model lets me double check that the internal components will fit together before I start assembling anything. Once the model was finally finished, I could then start 3D printing, which took about a week since everything from the main chassis to the tire treads needed to be printed out, and I only had one printer. So I've got the first of the 3D parts coming off the printer, and it's time to move into my least favorite part, which is sanding for hours. All these need to get painted, obviously, and the only way to do that is to hand sand everything so we have a nice smooth finish that the primer can then stick to. The trick was, of course, filler primer, since when combined with sanding, it removes the layer lines and disguises the fact that Newt was 3D printed. After a few coats of that, I could then start on the painting process. With all the external parts of Newt now drying, it was time to focus on the internals, and that meant building out all the electronics. Well, after several hours of programming, soldering, wiring, I finally have a giant mess of cables on my bench. This is just all the internals, the guts of the robot. So everything you see here is going to go inside of the shell and provide the power, the motors, servos, all that stuff. So let's jump in and I'll show you how each of these components work and what do they do inside the system. Starting with our transmitter, this is how I'll be controlling the robot on set. And from there, it's going to go into our receiver right here. That signal is then sent into a microprocessor, which just tells all the components what to do and how to do it. So for example, we have our motor driver board. That tells our motors how to turn and what direction. And then we also have our servos up here for tilting and panning. And we have a relay for our lamp to turn on for the projector. And everything's going to be powered by this lithium polymer battery. So through our power switch here, we can turn everything on and off. And then last but not least, our voltage regulator board. So this just takes the battery voltage and knocks it down into something more usable for our microprocessor. So all of this is ready to get scooped up, dropped inside of our shell, and then hopefully we'll have a prototype rolling around here soon. And speaking of electronics, I want to thank PCBWay for sponsoring this video. PCBWay is a wonderful resource for getting every part you need custom built. With options ranging from circuit board manufacturing to CNC machining and 3D printing, PCBWay makes it easy to bring your ideas to life. To learn more and to support the people who support me, check out the link in the description. Once the paint was fully dry, I could install the remote control system into Newt's chassis and run a quick test to make sure the controls were working. After a few tweaks to the code and several wheelies, I now had a fully functional headless robot rolling around my workshop. With everything working as intended, it was time to pull the body panels back off so I could start the weathering process that would make Newt look like the well-loved robot he was supposed to be. This technique is used all the time in film as a shortcut to help emphasize which characters are evil and which characters are good. By implementing little flaws throughout a character's design, it helps make them more relatable. You'll even see this concept used in animated films where the differences between evil and good can be made even more dramatic. After all, good character design is about showing, not telling. To give Newt this look, I'm going the practical route and using my Dremel with the wire brush attachment, along with some sandpaper, to replicate the years of wear and tear he would have gotten in the real world.
All right, so we've got our finished panel here. Just got some scrapes and marks and what looks like normal wear and tear. Don't want to go too crazy with it, but just to give you a comparison, this is what a clean panel looks like fresh out of painting, and this is the one we just did. So it gives it a little bit of character, which I kind of like. And now that you've seen this process, I'm going to repeat this for all the other panels, including our main body here and the head and everything. So I'm going to work on that and we'll jump into the final build once I get all these panels looking the way they need to. We made it! This is the last step. All the pieces are done. We need to now just take the internals, put it inside the shell, get everything built. It's basically like complicated Legos. And then we'll have a robot. So I'm going to now work on that for the next several hours and we'll see how it looks once we get it all built and put together.
With the deadline now less than 24 hours away, I pulled one final all-nighter to get everything assembled so Newt would be ready when we showed up on set.
Pretty cool, huh? I'm basically done. I just need to put the last of the panels on and we're good to go. But before I do that, I figured I'd show you the internals because I think they're cool. So we'll jump in and look at the head and the body before I package everything up. So these are all the internals that you saw originally. They're just crammed in here now. Obviously, it's a really tight fit. We've got the batteries in the back to help with the weight, and then I just use Velcro all over. You can kind of see that to keep everything in place. So if I need to remove something, it's easy. I can just pull it off and then stick it back on and it stays put. So let's look at the head. So this is the inside of the head. And on this side, we've got all the projector components. And over here, we've got a chip for a scene where he pops in a new card. And to do that, I just did some magnets so they can snap into place easily, and then you can remove it in the scene. So once we get this all buttoned up, this will be tucked away, but for the most part, it's a pretty compact system. Little cooling fan back here, and yeah, we can power it on here and see all the different components. Well, I forgot to tell you, I had to make two of these. One's the stunt double, one's the real one. Can you tell? Well, probably because he's turned on. But this is our team. This is our Newt team. We've got our actual working robot with all the electronics, and then this is just kind of a shell. The lights turn on, but he'll mostly be used for any crazy stunts that we do. It took forever to make two of these. One of them was difficult enough, but to replicate it exactly, it was a challenge. So anyways, next up, I ship off to Nashville for 4 weeks where we're going to be filming. TSA is probably going to have something to say about these when they see them on the x-ray. Hopefully that goes well. Anyways, I'm off.
With my toolbox packed full of spare parts, I loaded Newt into a nicely padded box and headed east towards the Music City.
We made it to Nashville. This is it. I'm kind of nervous. This is where the rubber hits the road. Obviously in my workshop I can, get everything just right and take my time, but on set sometimes I only have one take, so we'll see how it goes. But are you nervous? You sure? That's never gonna get off. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna go charge some batteries. Newt, you need to get some sleep, and we'll start filming tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have some behind the scenes for you. So fingers crossed.
Once on set, it was time for the real work to begin. My job now was to actually play the part of Newt and puppeteer him in a way that expressed all the emotions he was supposed to be feeling. This meant I had to figure out what it would look like for a robot to be happy, or sad, or even annoyed. Since I was operating Newt all by myself, I not only had to drive him around, I also had to operate his head, antenna, lights, and projector all at the same time, while still remembering to read his lines out loud.
It looks easier than it is.
Arguably one of the hardest jobs I've had on set.
Literally.
To make life a little easier, I used a music stand to hold both the controller and my script so I could focus on getting the performance just right, since any mistake I made would mean we'd have to cut the camera and reset. Fortunately, Kaylee was a wonderful director to work with, and I had so much fun playing the character of Newt alongside the rest of our talented cast and crew. Best of all, she'd sometimes forget I was operating Newt and accidentally deliver script notes directly to him instead of me, which is probably the highest compliment I could have possibly asked for. As for the stunt double, he was used whenever Newt had to be thrown around or manhandled by the other characters. More importantly though, he served as a backup in case the primary Newt got damaged, since there would be no way to rebuild him once on set. Luckily though, no Newts were harmed during the making of this film, and neither of the Newts broke down, despite the brutal heat and humidity of late summer in Tennessee. After filming wrapped, Newt finally got to take a well-deserved nap while the studio worked on all the post-production needed to bring this movie to theaters. 2.5 years later, it was finally time for the premiere, where both Newt and I got to walk the red carpet, wear matching bow ties, and of course, answer questions from the press.
Newt, how does it feel to be in a project of this caliber?
As you can probably imagine, Newt was pretty popular and everyone wanted a picture with him. But more importantly, it was now time for the big event, and we could finally see how Newt did on the big screen.
Tesla said there's beauty in simplicity.
Patterns of the universe.
Theoretically, we should be able to control the energy.
You might want to take a few steps back.
Each step back significantly reduces the probability of death.
Tesla trusted us to solve a crisis. This is it. We can make Tesla's plan work.
Why are you so sweaty? Never held a girl's hand before.
It's kind of nice.
I interrupt this pleasant moment to remind you that the power plant will be destroyed in less than 1 hour.
Let's go.
So it needs some minor adjustments.
Purchasing fire extinguisher.
Now listen, I think we can all agree I'm completely biased, but I think he did a really good job, and major kudos to Jason Marsden for doing such a great job voicing Newt. And if you're a fan of animated movies, you might even recognize him from his work as Haku in Spirited Away, or as Max in a Goofy movie. Oh, and fun fact, I actually make a cameo towards the end of the movie, so if you go see it, look closely and you might just spot me. As for Newt, you may be wondering, what happens now? Well, one thing I was adamant about from the beginning of this project was that once filming wrapped, Newt didn't just get put on a shelf to be slowly forgotten. Fortunately, the producers granted me my wish, which means Newt now has what I like to call his forever home here with me in our little slice of Los Angeles. And that's how this story ends, the story of a boy, his robot, and the movie they made together.